Hi everyone. The problem now that we are going to solve involves the input table as call logs. This table has below columns call ID, which is the ID of the call, caller, which is the name of the caller, receiver, which is the name of the receiver, duration, that is the duration in minutes for which the call took place. So each entry gives information about the call details as to who is the caller, who is the receiver, and for how long the call took place. So this is the input. As part of the output, we need to find out between each individuals what is the total duration for which the call took place. For all the entries that are given, we have to compute what is the total duration that the two people have spoken among themselves. So, for example, if we see Anushka and Divya, so there is a call which took place for 100 minutes. Then the other entry is here, that is 105 total. And the third entry between Anushka and Divya is this one, which is for 20 minutes. So, total 25 and 100. So, total is 125. So, this is what we need to identify, that is, what is the total duration for which the two people have spoken. So now let's see what approach we can take to solve this problem. This is the input that we have. Now what we are going to do is, whichever caller is having the smaller letters, we are going to move it to the caller side, either caller or receiver. We are going to just shuffle between caller and receiver. What that means is, for example, the call between Priyanka and Prithvi. So since Prithvi is having a letter T at the fourth position as compared to Y in Priyanka, so T is smaller. So we are going to exchange the caller and receiver and get the smaller letter name towards the caller side. Similarly, the this entry, the call was from Divya to Aryan. So we are going to just shuffle it so that the caller is Aryan and receiver is Divya. So likewise, we are going to just shuffle the entries wherever the receiver is having the smaller name. Why we are doing that is, we are trying to get the data in a similar format. Okay, so the idea is that we are shuffling the names of caller and receiver so that ultimately what we will get is this. So with this shuffling, we have got the data in this format and the duration that they have spoken. We have dropped the call ID column as it is not required. This is the data now that we have, and we can see the groups that are present now in which the call took place. Now, simply what we have to do is, for each caller and receiver, we have to sum the duration, and that way we will find the total duration for which the call took place between them. So that way we will achieve the final output. Okay, so we have discussed the approach. Now let's work on to implement it. Okay, so now we will operate on this input table, that is call logs. So as discussed, the idea here is shuffling the caller and receiver based on the names. So for that, we will use the case condition. So first we will form the caller column and then we will form the receiver column. So we will check if caller is less than receiver. If the caller is smaller, then we will keep caller as it is. Else, so else means the caller is not smaller. That means receiver is smaller. Okay. So if receiver is smaller, then we will take receiver. This will be our caller column. So what this means is, whoever is smaller. So in case caller is smaller, take the caller as it is. If the receiver is smaller, take the receiver as it is. So this way we will have the caller column populated either by the caller column or receiver column. Hope it is clear. So whichever is smaller, we are taking that value, as part of the caller column. Now what we will do is we will take the same condition and observe the difference. Now on the receiver side we need the column which is bigger. So if we check this, caller is less than receiver. If this is true, if this is true, that is caller is less than receiver, which means that receiver is greater here. So we will keep receiver here. Otherwise, we will keep caller. So whichever is bigger, that is what we need in the receiver end. So hope it is clear. So we have checked if caller is less than receiver, which means that receiver is greater. So if receiver is greater, keep the receiver. Otherwise, this means that caller is greater in the else condition. So we will keep caller. So likewise, we have got the smaller one, smaller name in the caller and bigger name on the receiver end. And then we will keep the third column, that is duration, as it is. Okay. So, okay, we have forgot the when condition, when clause. We will add that. And now we will run and see the output. So we have got the output. We have done the required shuffling. Now to see the data further, if the shuffling looks good, we will just do the order by the caller and receiver. Okay, we will just sort the data by them and see the output. So as can be seen, we have sorted the data based on caller and receiver that we created, and we are able to see now we have good groups created, which we can simply aggregate easily. Okay, so having reached this step, now the problem is very simple. We have to just do group by on caller and receiver and sum the duration column. So what we will do is we will add this as part of a CTE. Okay, so let's call it as call CTE. And now what we will do is let's remove the order by clause, as we cannot add order by inside a CTE. Okay, and then we will operate on this call CTE that we have just created. So as discussed, we will just do the grouping on the caller and receiver columns. So caller, comma, receiver. So we have done the grouping. We will keep these columns, caller and receiver, and we will sum the duration. So this will give us the total duration of call between the caller and receiver. So let's run and see the output. So we have got the final output. We have computed what is the total duration of call between two individuals. Okay, so this is the right output which we were looking for, and we have generated it. So let's see the query that we have written to solve this problem. So this is the query that we have written. The whole idea of achieving the solution is getting the caller with the smaller value on the caller side, and on the receiver side getting the higher value. Note that we could have done it other way around, that is getting the greater value on the caller side and smaller value on the receiver side. Even that would have worked. The idea is to have similar kind of names on one side and the other kind of names on the other side, so that we can easily group. So once we have done this step, wherein we have moved one type of names on the other one side, like either caller or receiver side, then we simply group it by the caller and receiver, and we sum the duration to get the total duration of call between the two individuals. So we will be adding the create table and insert statements in the description. Please go through it. If you have any alternate solution, please post in the comments. If you found the video useful, please like the video. Please share it in your circle so that more people can benefit from it. If you have not yet subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel and please provide your feedback in the comments. Thank you.